Alright, listen up. We got a banger of a manhwa that you need to know about. It's called Dungeon Architect, and the story absolutely wild. Meet our main guy, a gamer. So cracked at map building games that people thought he was cheating. Like legit accused of using bots every time a new map dropped. Boom, his name was already sitting at the top of the leaderboard. But here's the thing being that good got boring. The universe delivered, he dies. Yep, out of nowhere, and gets reincarnated as the Demon King's son. Sounds cool, right? Wrong, his siblings trying to kill him. His classmates bullying him nonstop. He'll straight up murder him if he thinks our guy's weak. But this isn't just some sob story because our boy. He's got those god-tier map building skills. And he's about to flip the entire demon world on its head. Will he survive? Will he rise to become the most powerful demon king ever? Or will he die again? You'll have to read it to find out. The manhwa is called Dungeon Architect, and trust me, it's worth your time if you want part 2. Smash that like button and drop a demon king in the comments. Let's run it up. The story begins inside this PC zone. Someone asked if they have seen the new Kong Chi map on Dungeon Craft, an online multiplayer game where users create their own dungeons. A person asked if they had just got to know about it. There's one person who shared that he hit first place as soon as he got up in the morning. The other person in the conversation was surprised to hear that. They wondered how this person got first place so quickly whenever there are new maps. He bet that he's using a bot or something. It doesn't make sense otherwise. Little did they know, the Kong Chi that they were talking about was playing behind them. He heard what they said, that Kong Chi used bots. The man inquired as to why Kong Chi ate there all the time, when he earns money like crazy. Kong Chi replied that the place has really good food. He said that he hit first place this time, so the man should be ready. The man cursed at Kong Chi for talking like. Getting first place is his right. He commented that Kong Chi must really be a bot. Kong Chi thought that they were not technically wrong. He only ever finds fun in the game's world and in creating maps. Besides that, nothing else matters. The man said goodbye to Kong Chi and told him not to forget to treat him with that fat wallet of Kong Chi. Kong Chi bids goodbye if Kong Chi is ever asked a reason as to why he's obsessed with the game. It's because there is nothing he can control in the real world. He finds it easy to do things in games, while everything seems impossible in real life. Even those inefficient telephone poles are things that he can't move. And while he was absorbed in his thoughts, a truck made its way. It's approaching our MC. He felt bad in reality. Even an object like a truck can't be removed just because he wants to. The truck was fast, but unlike any other Ice Guy story, it was able to stop on time, but still did scare Kong Chi. He actually thought he'd be ice-skayed or something. The truck driver got mad at him. He asked where the hell he was looking. Kong Chi pointed at something. It was a green light for pedestrians. He told the truck driver to look at the signal first. The truck driver was confused as to when the light changed. Kong Chi crossed the street. He felt frustrated. He thought that if he could change things in real life, like he could in a game, everything would be so much more convenient. Then he'd be able to create the world that he wants. Unexpectedly, a rope on the cane which holds that steel bar broke. The construction worker yelled for everyone to get out of the way. The steel bar was about to fall on a kid. Our boy saw it. The kid stood frozen. Kong Chi tried to push her. The kid dropped her ball, then she crashed on the ground. She was terrified. Kong Chi was in full control of his body. He's losing consciousness, and the last thing he thought was that. See, this is real life. The next thing he knew, it seems like he's floating. He wondered where he was. It was so dark that it felt like he's in a black hole. He wondered if he was dead. Someone called him mortal and asked him on how the hell of oblivion was. This monster-like creature in front of him told him that it is now time for him to face reality. Kong Chi asked who he was, and he inquired, what is the hell of oblivion? The monster replied that death is only a means for reincarnation. Kong Chi was surprised the creature told Kong Chi that he will give him a chance to recall his memories. Kong Chi was so frustrated and confused on what this creature is talking about. The monster called the oblivious one and ordered it to open my eyes. Kong Chi was so confused, then he opened his eyes. Kong Chi was shocked. He screamed out loud. But as you guys can see, he's inside a different body now. Then he got confused. He saw his surroundings that looked like a castle. Then he saw himself in the mirror. He was shocked to see himself. He asked if he was dead, then it made him wonder if he's Ice Guy, just like how it happens in anime. He couldn't believe it, but he felt a sensation. It felt so real that he could tell that he's not dreaming. Our MC checked his surroundings. He wondered where he was. It seemed like he's inside an old castle. Who am I? He asked himself. Then someone arrived and asked him what he was muttering to himself. That surprised him. He was shocked that he was stabbed from behind. He screamed out loud. He coughed up blood. Right in front of him was this demon lady that suddenly attacked him. Blood gushed out as the blade was pulled out from his body. The woman asked him how it was and if he thinks he'll die. Our MC was hurting so bad. He felt that she pierced through his sternum. He asked her what it was for. This bitch asked him what he meant. She replied that since she hates him, she's trying to get rid of him. After saying that, the demon lady raised her weapon again. Our boy realized that she really intended to kill him. But then someone whipped the sword from this woman's hand. She called the person Tarmi and asked him why he's getting on her way. Again, Tarmi told the woman named Seldra that she shouldn't do that to her brother. Tarmi called Kong Chi by another name, which is Kella. He felt bad that Seldra bullied him again. Tarme gave Kella a bottle. From this point onwards, we'll start addressing our MC as Kella. Kella drank it while assuming that it's a potion. He felt relieved. Tarmi was amused that Kella is drinking it. Kella then suddenly felt bad. He vomited. He felt his throat burning. It was so hot that he thought it was poison. Keldra asked him if he's going to die. She felt sad because he wants her to die by her hands. Tarmi replied that Kella is in pain, but not to the point that he'll die. He uttered that the recipe was a failure too. Kella questioned as to why he should suffer like that. The door opened. Someone reported that the Demon King, Hel Kaldun, has returned from his hero hunt. Keldra was surprised that their father is back. Tarmi said that it was earlier than he expected. Kella was confused. The guy had prominent horns and equipped with powerful accessories. He wondered if that person was the one called Demon King Hel Kaldun. Hel Kaldun asked why he's hearing those vile noises. Kella couldn't believe that the man was the Demon King. Keldra apologized and tried to explain. He told them that it's a humiliation for the moans of the weak to echo through the walls of the Demon King's castle. Keldara apologized. Tarme apologized too. Kella thought that if those two were his siblings, then the Demon King in front of him is his father. Hel uttered that he only wished to hear two sounds in his castle. It is the sound of a great demon being birthed. Kella realized something. Hel uttered the other one, and that is the sound of honorable death. Kella got terrified. There was a loud scream. Before we knew it, everyone was lying on the ground. Kella coughs, more blood. He realized that he reincarnated to another world, but he's that bastard's son. He cursed out loud. All he could think of is it really had to be the Demon King. Out of everyone, Kella, who was a child back then, cried when Keldara poked his eye with a fork. His mother empathized with him. Then he also told his mother that Tarmi poisoned his food. His mother suggested that he pays them back like a demon would. Kella replied that if he did that, Seldra and Tarmi would kill him. His mother replied that he just needs to kill them first before Kella dies. Kella stopped crying. His mother told him that Kella's father killed 12 of his brothers and became the great Demon King. Her point is if someone tries to kill him, he should kill them first. His mother brought out a dagger. Then his mother stabbed him to demonstrate and told him that that is how a demon should be. Kella cried out loud. His mother asked him if he understood. Back in the present time, Kella woke up screaming. His maid asked him if he's awake now. He realized that the body he reincarnated into is Kella Kaldun's memories. He saw that the injuries on his body have completely recovered. His maid was disappointed that he slept for quite a while. She told him to get up since it's almost time for a family meal. This bitch a demon was his personal servant Rin. Kella was much timider compared to his other siblings, so he has always been despised. He had a memory. When his maid just gave him the clothes to wear for a party. When his brother's servants dressed up his brother. His maid teased him that he could help her wear her clothes. Then Kella replied that he'll put his clothes on himself. She told him that for that day. Their task is cleaning the blanket. Kella was confused because he knew it was her job as a servant. His maid even had the guts to sleep on his bed. There was also this time that his maid sent a doll to her place. The new Kella cursed the old Kella in his head for allowing himself, a son of the Demon King, to be intimidated by a servant. He thought about it, his fist clenched. When he realized that Kella had been helplessly bullied, that entire time it made him think that his life in that place isn't different from his past life. He understood that those who look weak will die. A few moments later, he arrived at the dining area. His father and siblings are already seated. His father called him out for being late. Kella felt how overwhelming his father's presence was. He realized that he's the Demon King for a reason. As he sat down, he apologized for being late. Keldara welcomed him, and it came with her kicking a knife to his shin. He groaned in pain. Keldara uttered that Kella doesn't seem all that energetic, so he should eat more. Kella had no idea what might happen if they found out who he was, so he tried to hold it in. He simply replied, "Got it, thanks." He ate the soup. He realized that it wasn't food. He asked him if he found it tasty. Kella replied, yes, he looked at those demons, and he will not let them bully him. Any longer, he's determined to do something about it. With that mindset, he was acknowledged as the strongest map designer in a game. But when it came to real life, he couldn't do anything. He never wants to die helplessly again. This time, our boy wanted to be in control. He looked serious, as if something clicked. The timid face was changed to having a cocky smile. Our boy then called for Keldara while holding a plate in his hand, and he threw the plate on her face, for her to have a taste of soup prepared by Tarm. Our boy also pulled out the dagger from his shin. While telling Tarm that he's going to give Keldara's present to him, Kelda threw the knife at him. Hell was confused. Kella grabbed the table and asked his father as to why should demons gather and have a happy meal together. Then he threw the table, while yelling that they should eat their meals by themselves. From then on, all three were surprised. Kella was raging in his head. He's up for the challenge and sees who wins. Outside the castle, Kella felt really great at the same time. Rin was already wondering what happened to her master. Although he did flip the dining table and got beaten half to death, he was able to completely recover in such a short period of time. Our MC can feel the foreign strength. It made him think that he really is the Demon King's son. His mate cut off his thoughts when she told him that it's almost time for his lesson on demonic power, and he needs to get there quickly. He told his maid that he knows, and she should stop ordering him around. His maid turned pale and wondered as to why he's acting that way. Kella thought about his lesson on demonic power. According to Kella's memories, it's one of the worst things he's experienced, but he deemed that there's no reason to skip it. The instructor announced to the class that Seldra and Tharm won't be joining them. He saw that the rest of them were there. Kella recognized the guys beside him. He remembers them from Kella's memories. Back then, Kella expressed that he can't do it. The red-haired guy exudes purple flame from his hand. Then he slapped Kella while saying that it's a lesson. Kella yelled that it hurts. They're the true demons among the demon kin, who relished in bullying Kella as if it was a game to them. Seldra told the red-haired guy that he's too easy on him. She told him that there's no need to be considerate and encouraged him to show them his true abilities. The guy was pleased, and he thanked Caldera. He released the purple flame again, even when Kella begs them to stop. Kella didn't want to fight. He begged them to stop. The new Kella realized that the old Kella wasn't weak. It's just that Kella had a soft heart. But everything's different now. The instructor announced that they will start. He asked who was sparring during the last class. The red-haired guy answered that it's him and Kella. This guy didn't even bother to use honorifics towards Kella, a clear sign that he doesn't respect him as the Demon King's son. The red-haired guy pretended to apologize. Kella was annoyed. Few moments later, they now stood in front of each other. The instructor told them to do the second spar. The class was amused. One student uttered that the young master Kella will get beaten to death again. They called the red-haired guy rude and told him to go easy. Otherwise, the young master would cry again. Kella was annoyed. We also find out that this guy's name is Rude, and he looked like he had ill intentions. The new Kella thought that he and the old Kella were similar in many ways because even in his past life, he didn't have the money or strength, and everyone looked down on him. But that was all in the past at this point. Our MC just exuded his powerful aura. He really looked pissed. Rude was surprised with the amount of Kella's mana. Rude was terrified. He couldn't move because of the pressure. Kella told him that he'll go easy, so Rude will only take one hit. He punched this fucker in the face. Several teeth could already be seen flying out from his mouth. Everyone's jaw dropped. They saw that Rude wasn't able to react at all. The instructor asked if Rude died. Rude lost teeth, and his face was all bruised up. This guy couldn't even talk properly now. Kella reminded him of what he said. Kella told him something that he will be remembering for a long time. You really dare talk to the son of the Demon King that way, huh? Rude asked for forgiveness, and this time he addressed him as Sir Kella. Kella told him not to make mistakes in front of him again, and he'll die. That way the students had no idea how it happened. When it was Kella they're dealing with. Kella called the teacher, who was rattled. Then Kella suggested that he continues that class. The teacher was so scared. Rin was also present in the class, and this time she was worried about Sir Kella. She knew that he's being weird. The Demon King watches from his balcony. His eyes were focused on Kella. He's staring intensely at Hel Khaldun's castle. Someone yelled that she can't forgive Kella. Caldera was ranting at Tarmi for daring to throw poison soup at her face. Tarmi told her to calm down and focus on her treatment. It's because Caldera doesn't have a good regeneration like Kella. Seldra expressed that she finds it weird on why Kella is the only one with regenerative powers. Torme uttered that it looked like Kella had gone through a change. He recalled how Kella threw the table, while telling that they'll have dinner separately. When 3 of them saw that, they were in disbelief at that time. Tarmi saw the Demon King's side, even if it was brief. Tarmi saw that their father smiled for the first time in their lives. Tarmi was surprised Caldera was still pissed off. She didn't expect that their father would smile. For something like Kella, Tarmi agreed that it isn't normal. Seldra asked him what it was that he wanted to say. Tarmi knew that Seldra would rather die before joining hands with him, but Caldera was shocked. Tamara suggested they stop their fight for a bit and take care of Kella together. Caldera was amused. She stated that it's not a bad idea. They planned to kill Kella first, before Kella managed to catch their father's eye again. Meanwhile, we see Kella was surprised at the image before him. The instructor said that it was the previous Demon King, Turk Khaldun, in his head. Kella thought that the previous Demon King looked demonic. The instructor explained that Sir Turk was stronger than anyone else. At the time, he only passed away due to a cowardly scheme concocted by the Heaven Guild. Since then, opportunistic guilds have been gathering near their kingdom. The guilds surrounding the Demon Kingdom are instilled in Kella's memory. Because of those guild bastards, Kella couldn't even escape the castle. He felt hopeless that he had to live there forever. The current Kella recalled that memory. The instructor told the students that, with a large Heaven Guild as their foundation, those bastards are preparing to attack the kingdom. Therefore, in order to help King Hel to wipe out those bastards, the students should pour their hearts into combat class. The students synchronously replied, yes, for the honor of the demons. Kella was looking fierce after the class. He sat at the edge of the rooftop. Kella wanted to get out of there, because if he stays, he knew that he might die at any time because of these 3. Kella talked to Rin, his maid, and recalled that she stated that the Demon King was going out in 3 days. Rin replied that it was correct. Kella asked her if she knew that the castle has one weakness. Kella uttered that there's no map architect who can help use the terrain of battle. Those guild bastards are using the neglected territories around them to attack them, so Kella will use the time before the next expedition to map out the entire area. It was for his father to be able to destroy every last one of them. Kella decided to help him. Kella knew that the situation he's in is different from reality, so to him it meant that he can create the map however he wants. He ordered Rin to create a secret office in the castle's basement. At once Rin was confused. He explained that he needs a space to secretly work, without his father knowing. At the castle, the Demon King was taking a bath. He had set his eyes on Kella. He knew that before it's too late. He needs to confirm something back to Kella. He was annoyed at what he saw. Rin replied that it's the office that he ordered. The office was more like a storage. So he questioned as to why it's an office prepared for a Demon King's son. Rin replied that it's all she can prepare, because she has to do it in secret. Kella emphasized that she should do it properly. Kella realized that he has to periodically have to treat her fiercely, but when she saw him she blushed. She finds him cool and handsome. Will Rin be one of the waifu candidates? We'll find out. Kella noticed her staring, so he ordered her to get him a cup of coffee at once. Rin immediately ran to get one. With that, Kella is all alone in the room. He thought of how the Demon King castle has no hopes or dreams. Now, it was time for him to create the map. Outside the secret room, Rin was still searching for coffee. Then she realized she doesn't know what coffee is. Someone then called her. It was the Demon King. The Demon King asked her what she's doing in the basement without Kella. The Demon King asked where Kella was. Rin stuttered. The Demon King intimidated her to answer. She was rattled because Kella asked her to keep it a secret. The door was closed. Kella was having fun drawing on the map. He felt lucky that the world is pretty similar to the game. He realized that he has the most fun when making maps. It was as if he was back to his previous self. Someone marches towards the door. Then it exploded. Kella was surprised. The Demon King couldn't believe that Kella created a secret office. Without reporting to him, Kella wondered how he found out. Out of the blue, the Demon King stabbed him at the stomach. The Demon King told him that if he wants to kill him, he shouldn't do it in hiding like a coward and just come for him. He questioned if it's the power of the great Demon King. He thought he's going to die. He showed the map to his father. The Demon King asked what he's looking at. Kella explained that the outskirts of the castle is too disadvantageous for their battles against the guilds. It will help in the coming battles. The Demon King was surprised. He took out his hand from Kella's stomach. He inquired why Kella secretly created an office. Kella replied that if he said that, he was impudently helping his father. He wouldn't let him. That is why he wanted to show him that. After completing it, he uttered that as the son of the Demon King, he wants to be of help in exterminating heaven. The Demon King glared at him, but Kella met his gaze meanwhile. Rin was scared. She questioned if Kella wants to die by saying that kind of stuff to the Demon King. Kella replied, pardon. The Demon King asked him again how many days he thinks it will take to complete the map. Kella was pleased that Hell understood his map. Kella replied that 5 is enough. The Demon King uttered that heaven's reassembling in 3 days, and Kella's map will be useless. By then, Kella clarified that it's not 5 days, but 5 hours. Hell was caught off guard. Kella added that in 3 days, they can complete construction before the upcoming battle with heaven. He requested to be in command of the plan. Hell watched him. He thought about it. It seemed that the thing he wanted to confirm about Kella was finally answered. He told Kella to complete his map while having this faint smile on his face. But before leaving, Hell left a firm warning towards Kella. If you just all talk, I'll rip you to shreds along with that map of yours. Kella replied yes. Hell then finally left. Kella was pleased that he did it, but even then he felt pain in his body. Then he vomited a lot of blood. He got annoyed as he thought that the demon would kill him, his own son, if he had no use. Rin was pleased that Kella succeeded in convincing the great Demon King. At this point, Rin has been captivated by her master. Kella scolded Rin for just standing there. He ordered her to take him to the med room. After that, as promised, Kella completed the map in 5 hours. The Demon King castles. Forces gathered and began extensive construction. The mages set up illusion magic outside of the construction area and transformed the geography so they wouldn't notice. Someone was shocked. It was Hermesin, the Heaven Guild master. He was informed that the enemies are transforming the surrounding terrain. The knight reported that they had discovered that they were deceiving them with illusion magic. Hermesin asked what they were up to. The knight asked if they should attack and stop them. Hermesin replied no. He knew that doing that is useless when it's that late. Talcon is coming. Talua started forming Talcon, their strongest squad dozens of years ago, and now that Elite Squad is finally complete. Hermesin was confident that the enemies can't beat the strongest Elite Squad that was prepared over dozens of years. In a mere few days, he uttered that the great Demon King will be defeated. A man riding a red dragon ordered everyone to have strength, and in 2 days they will reach the Demon King castle. He represented Talcon. The generation of the great Demon King, which lasted for thousands of years, will finally be over. They charged with the intention of burning the Demon King castle down. A red-haired woman uttered that General Killman's leadership is incredible. This woman is called Commander Shrills, and a young man wanted to confirm if they'll succeed in hunting down the Demon King. Shrills confidently replied yes, and uttered that the Talking Squad is different from other guilds. They vowed to kill the Demon King. Back at the castle, the Demon King realized that Kella wasn't bluffing about the map. Although it's not perfect, Hell's body has almost reached its limit, so he can't be picky, And tomorrow is the day that he settles things with heaven. For him, this is the last war he would be participating in. Meanwhile, Kella ordered everyone to move quickly, since there wasn't enough time. He told the masons to move faster. Kella saw that it's progressing as planned. Deep inside, he felt that it's different from making a map in the game, because he can actually change the land as he pleases. He just needs to wait for the battle between hell and heaven. And tomorrow is the big day. And with that, the day of the battle arrived. The heaven soldiers rejoiced that the Talkin had arrived. Hermazin thanked them for coming. General Killman replied that the Talkin squad is ready to defeat the Demon King. Hermazin agreed to go to the Demon King castle immediately, but they all went quiet when a blue glow appeared. Hermanson was confused with the rod that glows in blue. General Killman asked what's happening. He yelled that it was a surprise attack. The soldiers yelled while there was a massive explosion. Talcum was surprised, but they were still able to deploy the defenses in time. They couldn't believe that the silhouette of the Demon King appeared, and slowly his body came into view. They were surprised to see Demon King Hell. Kaldon really went there back then. Kella informed the Demon King that he removed the barrier. That focuses heaven's surveillance magic on them. So Hell should be able to use teleportation magic without heaven's knowledge. Hell thought of the idea of teleporting to heaven's base. Seldra stopped him. Hold on, father. Don't tell me you're teleporting into the enemy's base. Tarm added that it's too dangerous even for their father. They try to say that it's not what they meant. Hell ordered silence. He stated that he will make the final decision. He decided to start at Heaven's base and kill every single one of them. General Killman admitted that they were caught off guard. He told the Talcon squad to commence full attack. The Demon King looked fierce. An explosion happened, and those who were caught up groaned in pain. Kella stood on top of a building. He thought that things were doing great, as they had gathered all the forces. Kella then shouted, "Now all the preparations are complete." He ordered everyone to charge. The demons yelled at the top of their lungs and attacked. The heavens are overwhelmed that the Demon King's forces were charging at them. They were caught off guard when some came from underground. They got scared because they got ambushed by demons. Kella clenched his fist. He watches them and was pleased that everything was according to plan. Then someone looked for Kella. They told him that it won't go as he planned. It was Tarmi and Keldra. Tarmi told him that he wouldn't have done that if only Kella didn't cross the line. Kella was caught off guard. Tarmi and Seldra just approached him. Tarmi told him to die since there's no place for him there. A green weapon imbued with mana then stabbed Kella, and it was a hit that sank deeper on Kella's stomach. Kella was in pain. Tarmi told Seldra that it's time. Seldra, a bitch, didn't waste a second and rushed towards him with her sword. She uttered that his intense recovery rate is nothing. Then she cut off his head. Tarmi and Seldra both had their devilish laugh. He realized that it is how it ends. His body was about to fall from the edge. It crashed on the ground, and it was a bloody mess. Still, Kella was still alive. He's barely breathing. Seldra was pleased that they finally sliced Kella's head off. Tarmi suggested that they leave and go help their father. But then someone brought out a sword. Tarmi was surprised Seldra stabbed him when she found his weak spot. Seldra stepped back and commented that Tarmi is quick-witted. Tarma saw the dagger. It was their mother's weapon, and they are forbidden from using it. Caldera argues that they are demons, so no one really cares about the rules. She stated that weapons are made to be used. Tarmi couldn't believe her. Caldera uttered that if she kills him right there, she'll be the only one remaining, which means she'll be the only successor. Tarmi was furious. He charged at her with the intent to kill her. Caldera replied that the fight was over the moment he was stabbed by her knife. She told him to just die already. These two clashed once again. Meanwhile, Kella's head, even when detached from the body, could still watch the chaos on the rooftop. He questioned, how can they be so demonic? A red glow appeared from beneath his body. His body fell on the hole that was created by Rin. Rin grabbed the head and dragged the body. She attached the head to the body. The demons ran towards the secret pathway. They planned to go around and attack Heaven from behind. Heaven called these demons foolish because they already know their tactics. The demons were rattled. The Heavens decided not to let a single one of them live. The demons continued to charge forward. regardless if the heavens really knew about their plans or not. They did it for the honor of the demons. There's no going back for them. At the same time, a dragon prepared a fireball and blasted towards them. It had been a while since Hell encountered that. Hell tackled and held on to the dragon's head. The other members of Heavens continued to unleash their attacks. The demons marched forward. Someone got roasted. General Killman asked if they got him. A talking squad member replied. Not yet. Spikes grew out of a body, and the fingers became claws. Hell's body had evolved its final and true form. And boy, oh boy, it really looked cool. General Killman commented that Hell transformed his body, exactly as per the books they knew. It was the Demon King's final form. One squad member reported that he couldn't move his body. Shriels ordered everyone to focus and not let fear get to them. General Killman cursed out loud. Even him, he can't stop his body from shivering. He expected from everyone else that they wouldn't be able to move. Out of fear, the Demon King knew the only downside to Kella's plan. It is that even though they can immediately bring their forces to the center of Heaven's base, and that was the only downside. But he didn't bring that up as the Demon King, because the Demon King shouldn't worry about having a way out, and he assumed that Kella had taken that into consideration as well. But that's not really important, because Hell decided to just kill them all. Right there, General Killman uttered that. It looked like Hell was planning to go all out. In his final form, he ordered them to give it all they have and put their lives on the line. Meanwhile, at the underground of the castle, Rin kept holding the head and body of Kella. She recalled a memory when she complained that it was disgusting. Kella told her to get used to it, because that time Kella lost his arm and she had to attach it. She placed the arm, but she wasn't looking. She just asked if it was done. Next thing they would do is Kella's head. Rin was surprised Kella explained that. He wants her to make it sound natural as possible. Rin was surprised, but she did it anyway. The servant was surprised. Then Rin told the servant that Kella was going to do it, while the Demon King was busy fighting Heaven. The servant got annoyed that the bastard plans to do such a thing. Then Rin suggested that it's a good chance for Keldra to slice off Kella's head. She stated that it will kill Kella, no matter how great his recovery speed is. At the present moment, Rin was in panic, even though it went exactly according to Kella's crazy plan. But she knew that it doesn't mean anything if he dies there. But then, Kella regained consciousness and asked who she's calling an idiot. Rin was pleased that Kella was finally awake. He expressed that he thought he's going to die. He speculated that his recovery speed is slowed down if he gets cut with a dagger. Imbued with mana, but it doesn't matter, since he survived and it's all going according to his plan. Rin shed happy tears. She hugged and expressed that she thought that he had really died. Our virgin gamer blushed the shit out of him out of embarrassment. He undid the contract between him and his servant Rin. At this time, I undo the contract between Keela Khaldun and servant Rin and grant them freedom. Rin was touched. She never would have expected this thing to happen. And now that the contract is gone, he told her to live the life she wants. Rin was surprised. She watches him walk away. Rin cried. She yelled at him to take her with him instead. Kella told her not to follow him. She insists on going with him. Kella argues that she'll only get in the way. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, General Killman called Hell a monster. Kella had lost his arms, and he was severely injured. It's a puzzle to Killman on how Hell is still standing. He realized that he's really the great demon. Killman felt frustrated, but he knew that he couldn't beat him. He accepted that no matter who it is, no human can stop the disaster. Hell glanced at his surroundings. His brows furrowed because it's the same way for his soldiers. He thought of Tarma and Seldra. Even Kella, he guessed that they weren't coming at all. He convinced himself that it's his fight from the start. He was on his last remaining mana. With that, everything will end. A massive explosion was then seen along the area. Back to these two, Rin and Kella kept running. Kella saw the exit. That's where he can get away from the surveillance of the demon castle. And once he's there, he expects himself to be free. But Rin told him to stop. There was an attack. Fortunately, Rin was able to create a shield to block it. The humans uttered that hell. Khaldun is still apparent, since they thought he's trying to evacuate his children. Those humans thought they were right for hiding there. Kella just realized that a surveillance team was placed at the secret exit. It makes him think that the humans knew about the construction all along. The humans won't let a single family member of the Demon King live. They went to kill him. Rin blocked their attacks and told Kella that she will hold them off while he runs away. Kella didn't expect that he asked her what she can even do by herself. Rin reminded him that she is his servant, and her priority is to protect him. For what Kella remembers, Rin is only capable of simple magic defense, and she can barely use attack magic. He deduced that Rin is planning on sacrificing her own life so that he can survive when he's not moving. Rin glances at him and tells him to hurry up and go. It was comedic, he told her. How dare you act strong, Rin? Asked what he's doing, Kella told her that if she's going to follow him, she should die at least in front of him, because it pisses him off. Rin was confused. The humans called Kella an idiot and told him that there's no way for him to run away anymore. They expected that middle-class magic is enough against Kella, the weakest in the Demon King castle. Kella has always been timid, and he hasn't used his powers, and he's never shown his true capabilities, which means everything those heavens knew about him is untrue. Kella slashed the attack away. Even Rin was surprised the heavens thought it was impossible, since what they knew is that he had a low mana. Kella charges forward and grabs the head of the human and slammed it on the ground. Kella released a huge amount of mana and told the man underneath him, "Is that so? I guess you need to check your sources." Then he tightened his grip on the man's face and then crushed him. The man yelled loudly. He was in agony. Rin couldn't believe that. Kella just defeated a heaven's mage with his mana. The heaven mages thought it was impossible, because Kella should be nothing more than a wimp with no combat power. Kella then set the record straight. The humans were threatened, so they planned to use the light spear spell. The heavens believe that if it's the light spear spell, where they use all of their mana, in a single attack, if it fails, they will be the one to die. Rin reached out to him and told him to get back. Rin and Kella were struck. Kella couldn't move his body. Rin shivered. She apologized that she couldn't protect him. The humans at this point were gasping for air, but they had concluded that their attack worked. A man took out a sword, but the other one held him back, suggesting that they deserve a little reward for going all through the trouble. Then he suggested that it will be fun to play with Rin. Rin yelled at them, saying that she knew all the things they have done to demons. A man pointed a sword at Rin's neck and told her that he will play with her soon. Kella learned that even humans of that world treat other people like objects. Kella felt bad because the exit is already in view. He can't believe that he's going to die like that. He was nearly there. The man raised his sword and told him to die. Rin closed her eyes and screamed the name of her master. But suddenly a purple glow engulfed Kella. The sensation was new to him. He felt that something was coming. He was surprised when he saw an image of his father. Kella wondered if he's done with the battle. He thought about his plan and thought that it was already ruined. Then Hell asked Kella to listen. He uttered that he has fought countless times and considered all possibilities. Just as many times Kella was confused as to what he's talking about. Hell uttered that Keldra doesn't have any considerations for her fellow demons to become the Demon King, and Tarmi doesn't have the ambition to become the Demon King. Kella replied that he doesn't care about them. He wanted to know how Hell got there. Hell replied that a Demon King has the ability to pass down his mana to his bloodline. Before dying, Kella was surprised. Then Hell said that even though it was for a short time, he had seen that Kella is the best candidate to become a proper Demon King. Kella told him that he's mistaken. Then Hell announced that he passes down all the mana left in his body to his son, Kella Kaldun. An orb full of Demon King's mana started to manifest in front of Kella. Kella told him to stop, but an orb of light enters his body. Hell thought about his son and told him not to mourn his death, and he wishes him to become like a true demon. The next thing we knew is that Hell's head was on the ground. Shrills called Hell Kaldun and announced that the Demon King is dead. His head has been cut off. Kilman sacrificed himself for it. A pained expression was shown in Shril's face when she saw the general. The Talon squad members couldn't believe that Hell is dead. When reality sank and they rejoiced, they claimed themselves to be victors. It overpowered the other light. Rin saw how the light spear was dispersed by Kella's mana. The human got terrified and confused with the sudden increase in mana. Kella scoffed. He thought about hell and his death, so they planned to escape. Kella told Rin to move. Kella could feel an endless void of darkness. It's the power that hell gave to him. The humans called Kella a demon and told him not to come close to them. They crashed on the wall. They were in pain. One human vomited. Kella recognized hell's power, but he also noticed how it's straining his body, and he understood that his body can't handle that much power yet. He asked Rin if she could move. Kella was thankful to hell. He's able to escape the castle because of him. As the castle burns down, Kella and Rin traverse the meadows. Kella felt free. This is the first time he was able to escape the walls of the demon castle. He started laughing. It made him think that he can go anywhere and live the life he wants. But a blue light appeared. Kella wondered what that light was. It started enveloping his whole body. Rin told him that it's a teleportation spell. Kella was surprised. He extended his hand and told Rin to grab it. Rin was surprised the spell lit the whole area. They passed through an island and crashed in the woods near the castle walls. Kella looked around and wondered where they were. Rin called for her master Kella and expressed that she didn't know he could use teleportation magic. Kella replied that it wasn't him. He shared that it's sort of like an alarm spell that their father placed on the three of them in case he died. Rin noticed that all her wounds were healed. Kella estimated that they spent 3 days within the teleportation spell. He was certain that hell did that on purpose, so they can heal themselves in case of emergencies. Rin was amazed that it's both a healing and teleportation spell in one. Kella realized that hell really is still a parent for putting such spells on his children. Rin asked if it meant that the Demon King passed away. Kella replied that she's right, and it was just as Kella planned. Rin replied and told Kella to become the next Demon King. Kella replied, "Why would I?" Rin explained that she realized something recently after seeing how Kella had changed. It's that he's the one who's fit to be the true Demon King. So from then on, Rin promised to do her best as his servant until he became the next Demon King. Kella realized that Rin must have been misunderstanding something. Kella sighed and told her to do as she pleases. Kella only replied that way because he recognizes that he lacks manpower. Rin told him to wait. She recognized the place. It's the magic country, our soul. It's a place where they nurture talent for the sole purpose of defeating demons. There was a banner that stated that Demon King Hell had perished, and the light of Talua is eternal. Kella asked why they were sent there of all places. He was worried about what would happen if they were to be discovered. Rin told him to use transformation magic before they are seen, and then she transformed into this beautiful and goddamn lady. Kella agreed. He's confident because it's something the old Kella could do. Then he asked Rin to tell him everything she knows about the place. She stated that our soul is a small island country located on the eastern border of Talua. They are blessed by the giant cryptid water gore who lives in the nearby seas, to which allowed the natural development of magic, and they brought up many strong mages. They have been an enemy of the demons for a long time. As one of the countries under the control of Talua, it made Kella curious as to why their father sent them to such a dangerous place. Kella replied that running away requires some prep work, and in order for Kella to achieve his dreams in that world, magic is very important, and in that country, everything is done through magic. Magic is used in even the most common buildings, and some buildings are floating with the power of magic. Kella thought about learning magic there. Then he would be able to make even more buildings than he could in the game. Kella suggested that they should get something to eat first. She ate and stated that it was delicious. Then she pointed to different stores. Kella was unamused and thought maybe I should just leave her here. Then Rin suggested to visit a magic bar. Kella told her to relax a little inside. Someone yelled that drinks are on her. In celebration of the subjugation of the Demon King, she urged them to order anything they want from the shop. It was the red-haired hero Shrills. Everyone cheered. Rin and Kella are in the crowd, and they're already drunk. They were both lightweights. It made Kella think that taking a break isn't a bad thing. Then Shrills noticed something. Her eyes were on Rin and Kella, and with an intimidating expression, she uttered, "What an interesting couple we have here." After a few hours, Kella was vomiting on the side. Rin scolded him, saying that even if he's that excited, he shouldn't drink that much when he can't even handle alcohol well. And it was a festival held to celebrate the death of the Demon King. 2. Kella got annoyed since she's the first one to suggest that they drink. Suddenly, a rushing crowd appeared. It was because of a new S rank request. Some were surprised to hear that, because they knew that the Demon King was dead. But nevertheless, they took a look. Kella got curious on what the ruckus is about. Rin couldn't believe it until that moment. The Demon King hunt was the only S rank request, but now there's another one. She grabbed Kella and decided to take a look too. Some people in the crowd couldn't believe it, because they thought it was all over. They had no idea that the Demon King's children were still alive. Rin was surprised to see it. Then Kella loudly says the Demon King is dead. Why me? Rin panicked. People turned to them. Rin covered Kella's mouth and explained that Kella was just drunk. Most of the people knew that Kella was the weakest out of the Demon King's children. They expected it to be easy. Some even estimated that it will probably be more like 8B rank quest. They guessed that all the hunters were going to be out for his head. Kella realized that he'd better lay low if he doesn't want to get caught. He decided to leave. Rin was about to reply, "Yes, young master Kella," but she stopped. Kella thought about it and told her to call him Chi-Wu. Rin teased him on what kind of name is that. Chi-Wu got annoyed and told her to just call him that. Then Rin stated that it was bad. She didn't think people would realize so quickly that he's still alive. Kella told her that they'll just get what they need and leave. Sriels was at the place that Chi-Wu and Rin would pass by. Sriels asked them if the S-rank quest is true. Kella replied yes. Rin stuttered at expressing that they just saw it. Kella remembered that this woman was called the Hope of Arsul. It made him think that she's not an ordinary woman. Shrales expressed her annoyance that the Demon King's son is alive. Kella replied that Kella is supposed to be weak. Rin added that it isn't a big deal. Shrales looked at them. She placed her arms around their shoulders. Kella was alarmed. Sriels told them that she noticed something earlier, and she stated that they smell strange. Rin got worried that they had been caught. Then she stated that those two must be Kella, and Rin got worried. Then Shrill stated that they must be travelers who haven't taken a bath in a while. She invited them to her place to wash up and get some more drinks. Kella and Rin were dumbfounded. They agreed to it in their head. They thought about how they're safe inside the house. There's also a nice cup of tea and snack that he never had before. He wondered if those are made with magic too. Kella always wanted to live in the world of games, so that moment was like a dream come true for him. He started thinking that the ice guy wasn't so bad. Since the time he was ice-gayed, this is the first time he felt safe. Meanwhile, Rin was stressed out. She uttered that she'd be dead if she got caught there. Shrills asked her if she enjoys the bathtub too. Shrills noticed that Rin was so nervous. She stated that she's like a demon who might get caught. Rin simply replied, as if Shrills created something from her hand and told her that she'll create something to make her relax. Rin knew it was a holy element. It is the worst scent for demons since it takes their mana away. She was worried because it would undo the disguise spell. She's getting dizzy in her head. She asked for Kella's help. Meanwhile, Kella was enjoying his time at the bath. Shrills expressed that she thought that it would be all over once the Demon King died deep inside. Rin wants her to stop talking so much because she didn't want to hear about it. Rin just wanted to leave. Shrill shared that she had been designated to become a mage. Ever since she was born, Rin stopped Shrills when she yelled. You can reminisce later then. Rin hurriedly hopped out of the bath with an excuse that she needs to use the bathroom. Shrill scoffed. She assumed that Rin must not like the holy scent. When Rin was out, she uttered that it could have been really bad. Kella saw her and greeted her, saying that the hot spring is nice and it made him relaxed. Rin told him that it's not the time to be leisurely enjoying a bath. She shared that her disguise almost became undone. Rin asked what she meant. Rin reported that Shrills used a holy scent. It was funny because he thought of taking another bath before leaving. Rin stopped him and suggested that they get out of there. Shrill saw them and asked if they were leaving too. When they said they'd get a second round with her, Rin replied that it's time for them to go. Shrills asked them why. She tempted them with drinks and dishes made with magic. Kella knew that it was food magic. Then he agreed to the second round. Shrills was delighted at this point. I smell some jealousy in the air. This scene felt like a meme. Meanwhile, outside Shrill's home, their mages gathered. They were informed that there are demons in there. Not just demons, but the Demon King's child. They thought that it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so they have to get them no matter what. The house was quiet. Sriels asked them what they thought about the food. She shared that it's made with holy water. Keller replied that it was good, but deep inside, he felt like his whole body was burning. He was excited because she said it was made with food magic. Then Rayals brought up what Rin and he was talking about earlier. The life she lived, she shared that in order to kill the Demon King, she joined the talking squad and trained with her life on the line. She lifted her shirt and shared that she got the scar from a test. Back then, Rin replied that she didn't see that scar earlier. Shrills moved her bangs and revealed a scar on her eye. She stated that she doesn't have an eye. Kella and Rin were shocked. Shrills replied that she was hiding it all with magic, because every time she sees them, it felt like the pain of that day was with her again. Back then, the soldiers told them to get up, and told them that the pain won't kill them. The soldier told them that if they are alive, they should get up and think about the Demon King. They were reminded that they are a squad, with the sole purpose of taking down the Demon King, that they must endure all pain and kill the Demon King. Serials was still young during this time, and her eye and torso were bleeding. The soldier told them to get up and asked them what their goal was, even with the injuries. She replied that their goal is killing the Demon King. Shrills uttered that she sacrificed her entire life to kill the Demon King and got those scars. She got too close to Kella. Then she asked him what they were doing during that time. Rin got worried for the young master. Kella was in panic because Shrill's hand touching him was slowly undoing his disguise. Then Shrills whispered, "You're a demon, huh?" Kella was caught off guard. White mice crawled from the fireplace. Then they turned into humans. Rin saw the mages then. Rin and Kella realized that Shrills must have brought them there. As part of a trap, Shrills greeted them. Then the mages saw the eye and uttered that heaven's message was right. They uttered that Shrills has been hiding her true self, that she's actually a demon that infiltrated our soul. Kella and Rin were surprised. Kella realized that the mages must not have been there for them. But for Shrills, he was surprised to find out that she's a demon. Shrills replied that she doesn't have to hide it anymore. She brought her staff out. Then she admitted that it was her who leaked the intel. That she's a demon, what a plot twist this is. The mages uttered that there's no reason to hesitate, since Shrills just admitted it. Their intention was to kill her. She told them that she's an elite mage of talking, which means that she's not someone that just a dozen or so mages of our soul can deal with. Rin told her master to get out of the way. Kella was frozen in place as he realized how bad the situation was. Then a loud explosion happened. When it's done, the mages were gone. Rin couldn't believe the powerful mana. Kella and Rin were surprised, because it seemed like Shrills protected them. Shrills knew that they were demons too. They can't hide it from her. Shrills introduced herself as the Demon King, Hell's daughter Shrills Khaldun. Damn, dude, upon hearing that, Kella and Rin's jaws dropped. Since they don't have much time, Shrills decided to show them with memory transfer magic. A woman with Hell uttered that they have succeeded. They were looking at a child. The woman described this child as a demon, who can hide her horns and demonic power. The child recognized Hell, their king. Hell told the child that his blood runs through her, which makes her his daughter. The child was surprised to know about being the daughter of a demon king ever since she was born. She had always been one of many lab rats. Every day was like hell for her. Day by day, she would undergo painful experiments, and all she could do was to endure them. After all the kids who were born with her died, and she thought she's going to die just like them, she cried for the other children. Then, she was suddenly informed that she's the daughter of the Demon King. She replied that it's an honor. Hell proceeded in bestowing her a name, to which she became Shrills Khaldun. She was tasked to act as a spy and infiltrate heaven, to deliver him their information. Shrills thought that if it's for her father Hell, the Demon King, she can do anything at our soul. A guard saw that there's someone on the ground. It was a little kid, and they assumed she was attacked by the demons. They carried her and hurriedly went back to treat her. Eventually, she worked her way up to Talhua as Mage of our Soul, and in the process, she endured everything that came her way. Then finally, She rose up to become one of the strongest in the talking squad, the elite force after being affiliated with Talwa. After 15 years, she was finally able to meet her father again. She wanted to run and embrace him. But she couldn't. She was almost there. She just needs to wait until everyone except Kilman dies. Her role was to secretly use magic on the Talon squad, to get in their way and support her father until he kills Kilman. And once her father wipes Talon out, she can finally return to the castle with him. She wanted to live a new life by her father's side as Shriel's Khaldun. However, Kilman said that Hell exceeded his expectations. He acknowledges him as the strongest opponent he ever faced. Hell replied that he doesn't require acknowledgement from humans. Kilman commented that Hell is arrogant. Then he invited him to end it. Kilman had a final attack, which he poured his everything into. He took out the spear of the martyrs. Hell prepared flames of hell. Magnalexer Shriels got worried for her father. Then a loud explosion happened in that instant. She heard her father's voice. Hell sent a telepathic message that said, Shriels Khaldun, my daughter, this is your next command. Serve the next Demon King as you have served me, and protect him until the end. SRIs shed tears for her father. Another big explosion happened. Eventually the dust started to clear out. At this time, Hell's head was on the ground. SRIs was in pain upon seeing it. She refused to believe it. She wanted to call out to her father. After witnessing her father's death, she had no choice but to return to Talua. Since backup forces had arrived, people from all over the entire continent, Talua included, celebrated his death. They celebrated the Demon King's death for the first time in millennia. After that, Shriels decided to retire and return to our soul to her second home, where she began her first job for her father. Her plan is to start afresh in this place, in order to avenge her father's death. Back to the present time, she revealed that she was planning on wiping them all out, starting with Arsel. Rin couldn't believe that Shriels is a daughter of the Demon King. Kella, on the other hand, was frustrated. He thought he finally got away from his demon siblings, even though he and Shriels aren't related by blood. He didn't expect to have another sibling. Shriels told them that she won't force them to cooperate with her as fellow demons, but she will tell them one thing, that Arsal is a core threat to demon kin as the magic country. The longer they let that place be Kella, the last hope of demon kin, the sooner he dies. Kella realized she's right. Even in the game, mages acted as an important force in battles. If they let them be, the one who will be in danger is him. One of the mages uttered that. Everyone must already be headed to that house. After hearing the explosion, they don't want anyone else to take credit for it. She ordered all the mages to use as much of their mana as possible. Kella uttered that. Those bastards must have thought that they were plain humans, yet they attacked them without hesitation. Rin was confused with Kella's behavior. He showed his true form and told them that it's just self-defense. Shriels was surprised. She felt the energy and recognized that it's her father's power. That night, they waged an endless battle. In Rin's eyes, it probably looked like a massacre. To Shriel's Arsal was like a second home. So she knew the entirety of the layout. She destroyed all of the main facilities of the government, as well as the Magic Academy. Kella used Hell's mana to subjugate those in power, who were drunk on the excitement of the festival. Kella slashed them all with their teamwork. The nation of magic, our soul, was easily taken down. Loud explosion happened. A mage refused to believe that Arsal falls easily, even when he's crushed beneath the rocks. The mage yelled that he won't ever forgive the demons. Suddenly, he was burned. Yeah, you can't forgive them when you're already toasted. I guess Shriels told the guy reduced to ashes. That's what I want to say. She's the one who can't forgive them, starting with our soul now. The talking squad and the great empire Talua. She vowed to end them all. Kella was overwhelmed. He asked that much, while Rin thinks it's impossible. Kella turned around and uttered that. Now that they have helped each other out, they should split ways. Shriels told him to wait. She asked him if he thought that she wouldn't recognize the mana. She knew that he's the second son. Kella Khaldun. Kella realized that there's no point hiding it. He replied yes. Shriel gasped and asked if it's true. Kella realized he fell on her trap, and she was just guessing. She was just a tiny bit suspicious. She clarified that she's not a daughter in the traditional sense. She's more like a mutant that was made with their father's blood aura. Because of that, she acknowledged Kella even more as her father's bloodline. She narrated that she was made after Kella was born, so she called Kella her older brother. That was funny. Kella turned pale, and he refused that. She assumed that he wanted to avenge their father. She invited him to come with her. In Kella's head, I ran away from home. Revenge my ass. Shriels confirmed with him. If he's not running away, since he's the only remaining bloodline of the Demon King, and their father's only remaining child. Rin was scared in her head. She begs Kella to reply that he'll go with her. It looked like she would kill them if they didn't. Kella replied that he's going to get revenge. Deep inside, he knew that he had no choice at this point in time. Shriels invited them to go burn them down. Kella replied yes. He needed Arsenal's magic anyway, and Shriels would know them all. So while he can stall for time by using revenge as an excuse, he'll treat her as one of them. A mage who was hiding behind a wall had heard them. He immediately thought to report to Talua about it. At the castle, the great king of Talua was informed that they had received an urgent message from someone in Arsal. In the Talquin squad is a demon. So Arsen's mages tried to eliminate her. The king asked what happened next. Then, he was informed that Kella appeared and burnt Arsal to the ground. With Shriels, the king smacked the table. He was surprised to find out that the Demon King's son is an Arsal. The subject speculated that Kella must have connections to Shriels. The king cursed out loud. Not only was Shriels of the Talking Squad a demon, but for Arsenal to be burnt down by Kella. If it was made known, it will make them a laughing stock. He ordered to kill Shriels and Kella before people finds out about it. He threatened his subject that if wasn't able to bring their heads, then he would be removed from the position. The subject named Hayden swore to kill them. He turned around. The head of the Demon King was in a glass enclosure. Hayden thought of how Hell's bloodline is harassing him to no end. He swore that he shall burn away all those who carry his blood. After that encounter, someone asked for the news of the Killian squad. A man reported to Hayden that Killian should have received the message by then. He told him to return as soon as he saw the message. Killian is the best knight there is who exceeds even Killman. In order to kill Kellen and Shriels, they need Killian. We were then transferred to this secluded place. Killian received the news that Killman, his brother, is dead. The knight reported that Killman sacrificed himself to kill the Demon King. He asked how it concerns him. The knight replied that Talua needs him in order to hunt down Kella. Killian replied that he doesn't care if Talua wants it or not, since the demons killed his brother. He will kill every demon on the continent. With a protagonist's aura looming over him, he uttered, starting with Kella Calden. Now I don't know about you guys, but this is the way of introducing an overpowered villain. He asked who's going to eat all of it. Shriels simply told him not to eat it if he's full. For her, it isn't even enough. Rin inquired if she has a secret for not gaining weight. Shriels replied that if it goes in and out quickly, then she won't get fat. Rin was enlightened to her. It's a miracle theory. Kella felt relieved that Shriels isn't trying to kill him, like Seldra or Tarmi. Kella was concerned that she would be jealous of him, due to him being of the main bloodline. Kella asked Shriels if she had anything against him, since he's the biological child of their father. Shriels replied yes, to the point that she wants to kill him. Kella expected that. Then Shriels uttered that since he has the same blood as their father, whom she always loves and respected, she can't hate him. Moreover, since Kella has their father's blood, she actually needs to protect him however she can. Shriels promised that she will put her life on the line to keep him alive. Kella blushed and said thanks. Rin was confused as to why Kella was blushing. Rin shoved the meat in Kella's face and invited him to eat her share, since he used a lot of mana. He had to eat a lot. Kella replied that he's not hungry. Rin vowed to protect his health until he dies. Kella looked unamused, and he told her to calm down, since our soul situation should be known to other countries, since it isn't safe there. Shriels suggested that they find somewhere else to sleep. Kella replied that it's actually a great place to stay the night. Kella replied that with a little effort, it will become an impenetrable fortress. First, they changed the terrain to turn it into a secret fortress. Then, while resting, Kella went over what he learned from the fight. After using lots of mana, Kella had a rest right. After looking back, He realized that even the demon king rested after a fight. Shrills, who used more mana than him, needed an even longer time to rest. So they safely recovered while being protected by the secret fortress. Meanwhile, in a castle, the horn was blown. It's to signal the arrival of Talcon's second squad. It's Talcon of White. The king was informed that Talcon of White had arrived. The king commented that even just looking at them gives him goosebumps. The king welcomed the return of his strongest squad. Talcon of White, the person behind Killian, told Killian that he looks like he had gotten several times stronger in that short time. She added that if General Kilman saw it, he would be very happy. The person called Deed was scolded by a woman with elf-like ears. Deed recognized that the woman who scolded her was Audria. A large man asked if they must heed the king's summons. He added that his anger wouldn't be satisfied, even if they killed Kella. Killian apologized to him. He replied that he had to show something to Curdly. They looked at Hell's Head. Killian finally saw the killer of his brother D. D expressed that it's gross. Audrey told her to be quiet. Killian asked Curdly if the tracking spell will work with just the head. Curdly replied that it's possible. The bloodstains on the head will let her search for those of the same bloodline. Hell's Head glowed Killian, then uttered something for the Demon King. Hell Khaldun, keep your eyes open. See the things we're about to do. After a while, Shrills uttered that since they had rested, they should get those bastards. She knew that Talon's second squad will be summoned. Rin asked about the second squad. Shrills replied that in Talua, there wasn't much hope, that the first squad would succeed in killing the Demon King. Basically, they were being used as an experiment. The squad that Talua sincerely formed and poured strength into was the second squad. Talcon of White Kella listened carefully. It is the squad of Kilman's younger brother Killian. It is an elite squad composed of combat geniuses. Kella had to verify if their father's killer, Kilman, is weaker than them. Sriels doesn't want to admit it, but the Talking of White is far stronger than Kilman. She can't even estimate how much stronger. Kella had a serious expression on his face with that dilemma. Rin asked how they were supposed to invade Talua. Shrill replied that Talcon of White was all in isolation training, so it will take some time to get them back together. Therefore, they need to take down Talua as soon as possible. Kella knew that Talua is much bigger than Arsal. Mere luck won't help them win the battle. Then he thought of something. He urged Shriels to think about it, with the quest to hunt Kella down. He assumed that Talcon of White is probably already back together. He uttered that it doesn't make sense for the three of them to attack Talua without any help. He suggested that they need an army and build their base. Rin asked him about the army and base. He replied that it should be an army that won't lose, even to the Talking of White, and a base that won't fall, even if the soldiers of Talua were to invade. He uttered that they'll construct the strongest dungeon there is. Shrill seems amused while Rin looks overwhelmed. Upon hearing that Kella uttered that, they can't gamble on battles that they aren't sure about. And if they do, they will just end up like his father. Rin seems hooked with the plan. Shrills replied that he's not wrong. Shrills wouldn't expect any less from her father's son. Kella was glad that he came up with that on the spot. Shrills is now energized to create the army. She knew some guys that they could take in. Rin was on board with the plan. The two women were hyped up. Kella saw how they liked his idea. It's Kella's way to stall for time in order to make his own world, where no one will interrupt him. He thought of a map that could not bring to life. In reality, it was his own perfect world. Kella was determined. He asked Shrills since she knew some trustworthy demons. Shrills replied that there are several. Kella told her that they first need someone who knows a lot about geography and terrain. Shrills thought about it. Then she realized she knew someone. So they're off to look for the demon. They traveled. Kella began learning our soul's magic on their way to their destination. It was not the kind of stuff that he should have been able to learn in a short period of time. But thanks to the Demon King's blood, he was able to learn pretty quickly. He's learning and using magic with his own two hands. He felt that he's getting closer to his goal. For days later, they are almost there. Rin inquired as to why a demon lives in such a barren place. Shrills replied that it wasn't always like that, until Talon staged an ambush. Rin was confused. Shrills told them not to move no matter what. An angry demon came out and told them the force of Talcon to stop. The demon asked if they were after them again. It seems like the demons have yet to hear of her. Rin was surprised. She asked Shrills if she's just letting herself get attacked. She urged her to tell the truth. Kella told Rin to be quiet and to just leave them be. The demon asked her why she isn't fighting back. He asked if she doesn't see them as worthy opponents. Shrills apologized to them. She kneeled and told them that she will accept their rage until they feel better. The demon was taken aback, because it was the symbolic pose that only they knew. Shrills apologized to them as a fellow demon. They were surprised that she's a demon, because she came with the talking guys last time. Kella replied that it was true. He showed his true self and introduced himself, that he's the last remaining child of the Demon King Hell. He gives his word that Shrill is speaking the truth. The demons recognized the powerful demonic energy. One of them exclaimed that he's really the Demon King's son. They asked if he's young Master Kella. They all kneeled in front of him. The earth demons of the land offered their greetings to His Highness. Kella, Kald, and Rin looked pleased. Shrills too. Kella watched them from the crack on the ground. A settlement is seen. It made Kella think that it might not be hard to create their own army. After all the earth demons greeted the great Demon King's son Kella, they all hailed for his name. An older demon told them that he will prepare anything that the son of the great Demon King will need. He just has to give him orders. Kella was looking around. He saw that it was a different method of architecture compared to the Demon King castle and arsenal. He didn't expect that a sturdy city could be built without magic and with natural materials as their primary source. The placement of the city was excellent too. Kella would have never imagined such a large city could be hidden underground had they never shown themselves. Kella told Shriels that she was right, that they are in need of the talent of the earth demons. Shriels looked proud, and she told him that she knew he would like it. And then aside, there's also an excellent warrior that the Shriels thought they should recruit. Kella asked about it. Shriels replied that Talon discovered the city while journeying to the Demon King castle. Back then, they couldn't believe that demons were hiding in such a place. They cannot allow a single demon to stay alive. They intend to kill all filthy earth demons. The earth demons ran when the soldiers of Talwa arrived. They screamed for help by General Kilman's orders. The forest that concealed the city was burned to ashes, putting the earth demons at the risk of extinction. But then a certain earth demon protected the children and asked them how they can massacre people who don't even know how to fight. He cannot allow those who lack a warrior's pride to lay a single finger on the children. It was Shriel's first time seeing a demon who was risking his life to protect the young. Kilman asked for the warrior's name. He introduced himself as Douglas. Son of the earth demons, Kilman uttered Douglas's name. He glared at him and uttered that if only Douglas had been born human. Kilman was ordered to cease combat. He decided to leave the place and continue their journey to the Demon King Castle. Douglas was confused. Shrills told him that his bravery saved their tribe. Douglas was dumbfounded the children were spared. Shrills narrated that Douglas didn't run and tried to save the children until the very end. Rin couldn't believe that Douglas did that. She's convinced that even just his name is something they can trust. Kella thought about it. An earth demon who can engage in combat is more than he could hope for. Kella expressed that he would like to meet Douglas. The old man hosting them replied that Douglas is stubborn, and he suggested for Kella to look for someone else. Kella insisted that he will bring Douglas with him. He asked where Douglas was. At a certain building, Kella uttered, "You refuse to obey me." Douglas replied that Kella might be the son of the great Demon King, but he's not obligated to obey him. Kella asked what he would do if he were to use force. Douglas replied that he'll die fighting. Kella asked him why he insisted on remaining there. Douglas replied that he was born and raised there, and that he has a duty to protect his homeland, which is why he cannot leave. Kella replied that Douglas is as stubborn as they say. Douglas apologized. Kella thought that it was unfortunate in the game. He tried so hard to obtain an orc ally like Douglas in the game. He sighed. Kella thought that it can't be helped. When he was walking around, he was observing too. He watches the buildings. He finds the architecture really efficient. He would really like someone who has the knowledge of earth demons to serve him. Then he saw Shrills and Rin drunk. These bitches were having a great time. They invited Kella to try the earth demons' amazing liquor. Kella got annoyed at these drunkards. While he's doing investigative work at the tavern, Kella was drunk and happy. Our boy had a little control over his temptations. Apparently the three of them were merry and drunk. The old man found them. They ordered the earth demons to bring them to the best resting chambers after some time. He looked peaceful. Someone opened the door. Few men walked inside. They have an axe. Kella was still asleep. A demon raised his axe above Kella while calling Kella a wuss. He planned to kill Kella and swung his axe towards our MC's head, but the demon was surprised. He asked how Kella had evaded the axe. That move made Kella certain about something. The demons realized Kella wasn't asleep. They still charged at the demon they called Coward Kella. Kella was up from the bed. He watches them. He was skeptical at first. Over White, Douglas was making things that weren't weapons. At the smithy, he saw restraints that wouldn't fit an orc. And while he was observing his surroundings, he noticed someone was following him and noticed a wall with a subtle magical barrier on it. Kella wouldn't have noticed such a subtle barrier had he not inherited the mana of the Demon King. He also noticed one weird point. Shrizzle definitely said that Douglas was protecting young dark elves, but he never saw any young dark elves anywhere in the village. That's when everything made sense to Kella. His eyes looked serious, and our boys slashed the shit out of these demons left and right, with his hand covered in mana. They fell on the ground. Kella uttered that Douglas didn't tell Killman that he couldn't let the young dark elves die, but that he couldn't hand them over. That means that Douglas didn't care about protecting them. He just didn't want them taken away from him. Douglas shrieked. He asked Kella how he knew about it. Kella suggested that they go and release the magic barrier. It was chaotic. They asked how it could be. The orc warriors have revealed their true selves and found that Douglas was being held hostage by Kella. Just as Kella expected, everyone was on it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been possible. The old man who hosted Kella couldn't believe that Douglas failed. If they do, he threatens them that Douglas will die. They didn't expect that from the coward Kella. At a certain section of a city, Kella told Douglas to open the door. Douglas clicked his tongue while taking out a pink marble. Then he placed it on the door. The door opened, and it revealed all of the dark elves that were missing. Kella was taken aback. They were in worse shape than Kella imagined. Shrills and Rin rushed to Kella's side and asked if he's okay. They saw the door and asked what it was. Kella ordered Shrills to take one of the dark elves and show Kella their memories. Through memory transfer magic. Shrills replied that it's less clear than transferring her own memories, but it's possible. Kella requested her to do it. Shrill started. She formed two black orbs, as if they were to exchange information to each other. Both the dark elf and Kella glowed. The memory showed how the place is hell. The dark elf's mother's pregnancy and childbirth was forced, and the dark elf on the memory was born. All life in that place was born that way. And among those young children, those chosen by human nobles are taken away by force, as the chosen young elves could be sold for vast sums of money. Occasionally adults who were captured from the outside would tell them about the world, like the unending skies and blue oceans, the fantastic foods and carefree travels, things that they could never learn about in that place. If they had just one thing they wished before dying, even if it was just one, it's for their children to make it outside and experience those things themselves. Kella was furious. He called the earth demons fucking bastards. Our boy then turned to Douglas and punched him so hard that made his name to Catless. Douglas crashed to the wall. Shrills realized that he wasn't trying to save those kids and that they were smuggling them instead. Douglas replied that she's right. He uttered that dark elves are a rare breed, that human nobles lusts after, which Douglas concluded that they are perfect to raise as livestock. Shrills was furious. Rin couldn't believe that they enslaved other demons. Douglas reasoned that with the Demon King dead, they are essential to the earth demons if they want to survive from the humans. Kella covered his hand with mana. He thought of how. He's miserable enough from enduring his father's oppression, but those children are living in pain, incomparable to what he had endured. He can't just stay put. When something like that is happening in front of him, he called for Shrills and Rin and told them that they will continue the job that Killman left unfinished. Shrills agreed. She couldn't believe that those bastards dared to betray their own kind. Even Rin couldn't forgive them. Kella uttered that they will cleanse the place of the earth demons. Douglas sought everyone to help fight, especially when there are only 3 enemies. Everyone charged at Sriel's. Rin and Kella Rin yelled that the remaining orcs were attacking. Sriel's was furious that they dared to rebel against the great demon king's kin. The York yelled that they shouldn't retreat because, unlike others, Kella is a wuss and they have no reason to obey him. Rin fought back and told them that Kella will become the next demon king. Douglas attacked Kella with bare hands. Kella was thinking that they aren't in a game. It's real life, and if he can change things with his own power, then he won't stay put like before. The Dark Elves watched the fight. They wondered if those 3 were doing it for them, and it made them think that they should help them. The woman held back the one who was trying to help. Because it's dangerous, they reasoned that if they lose, they will be tortured again. So this Dark Elf Wu was advised to stay put. Hearing the word torture made them recall unpleasant memories. Wood fell to her knees and started to tremble. Kella saw that Kella asked Douglas if he heard those cries of pain. He told him that he will get all of them back. Douglas uttered that it won't do. He took out something from his pocket and ate it. He told everyone to eat their earth ores, because losing to Kella means losing everything. They saw Douglas eat his earth ore. So everyone followed. Rin thought that stuff was just a legend. Kella asked what it was. Sriel's explained that when consumed, in exchange for a portion of a demon's lifespan, it boosts their physical capabilities by several dozens of times. Douglas's body transformed. He vowed to kill Kella at this point. Douglas was already ripped. It also looked like he was about to go for a rampage. Kella sensed that their demonic energy has increased, alongside their physical capabilities. Meanwhile, our boy couldn't use all the abilities hell bestowed upon him yet. Douglas was about to punch him. Kella was in a pinch and thought that this was really dangerous. Suddenly vines appeared. It wrapped around Douglas and immobilized him. He asked what it was. A dark elf stepped forward. She uttered that never again she would be tortured. The other dark elves got worried for her. Douglas cursed at her and threatened to torture her until she dies. But Douglas sensed something. Kella attacked him and told him to stop spouting nonsense, because it's never going to happen. Kella pierced right at the torso of Douglas. Kella called Wood. He smiled at him and relayed thanks. I think I like you. Wood was speechless hearing those words from a stranger. Douglas groaned. He told Wood that he was the one who raised her when she was abandoned, and now she's betraying her. Forget about torture. Douglas decided to kill her right there and then. He broke free from the vines. Kella was surprised to see that his body got bigger. Douglas raised his fist and punched Kella. Kella crashed to the wall. Our boy wondered if an earth magic stone is that strong. Then Douglas went for Wood. He grabbed her neck. Douglas told her that he will rip off her head. That instant, Wood was already choking. Kella wondered if Douglas had gone insane. He was more focused on killing Wood than fighting him. Wood groaned. Kella was far from them. He needed a long-range attack. He forced himself. He thought that everything was fine and begged. And while he's releasing his powers, he was transported to a place, a mist that looks like the mysterious being that was present when he was transferred to Kella's body, called him an idiot, and told him that it is a place within his consciousness. Kella asked who he was then. This mist suggested that Kella would rather know how to save the Dark Elf. No matter how slowly time flows in the consciousness, Kella would still need to act quickly. He remembered Wood, and he asked this mist if he had a way to save Wood. The mist told him that he isn't ready to use the full strength that Hell gave him. However, as his mind and body become more in sync, he can unlock more and more. Kella told him to forget about the explanation. He asked for something he could use. At that moment, the mist told him that there's one thing that he can use. The mist told Kella Calden, or rather Kong Chi Wu, that he will see him again soon. Kella wondered how this guy knew his name. Then he's back at his body. He saw Hell's fire arrow on his hand. He pulled the bow and advised Wood to protect her body. Douglas was surprised. Wood braced herself. She covered her body with vines. Kella told Douglas that it would be the end of all his evil deeds. Our boy then released the arrow. Douglas was frozen in place. Bullseye, this fucker burned. As the arrow reached him, he cried to be saved. Since it was a direct hit, Kella thought it was done. Douglas kept groaning from the pain until the flames fully burned him. Meanwhile, Rin was overwhelmed because there were several orcs who charged at her at the same time. Shrills cursed as she can't use splash magic because of the ceiling. Kella told them not to worry and he'll finish it in a flash. He released 3 arrows at the same time. It burned several orcs at once. Shrills was pleased to see that Kella used a fire arrow. Using demonic energy, she thought of how Kella's mana got stronger. Now Kella has long-range attacks. He was very pleased. He thought nice. Very nice. It was already nighttime. Finally, everything was taken care of. Shrills uttered that. The earth cores are far more powerful than she expected. Rin uttered that she didn't know that. They burned the lifespan of the orc. Kella realized that they have to investigate it. And with that, all of the dark elves are free. He told them not to get caught by bastards like them again and live their lives freely. They couldn't believe that they were free. Kella told them that they can leave this place now. They asked if they could take their kids away from the hellish place. They all kneeled and expressed their gratitude to Kella. Shriels uttered that. It looked like they wouldn't be able to take the earth demons. As subordinates, she didn't expect to be tricked by those bastards. Rin replied that it's a shame. But there's nothing they can do. Kella confirmed with Wood. If she wasn't born there and instead was captured, she replied yes. Kella assumed that she doesn't have a family member to live with. Either she replied yes. Kella told her not to worry, because she's an elf who receives nature's love. Plus, she just showed that she's braver than anyone else in the face of danger, and that was enough. Kella invited her to get up and come with him. Wood watches him with awe. She was touched. Wood doesn't even remember what her parents look like. She was abandoned somewhere, and she was taken there and live her life in suffering. She was thrown inside the cell. She lived in that hell her whole life. She thought she was going to live like that until the day she died. She shed tears as she confirmed that she can leave the place. Wood asked Kella if she could really follow him. Kella told her that she won't be following him. He clarified that she will be going with him. He reached out to her to help her stand up, while telling her that they will get out of the place. Wood thanked him that night. Several dark elves left the earth. Demons were taken care of, and they have saved the captured dark elves. Kella was worried because they had never been outside before, but they are demons who are loved by nature. No matter where they live, it will be a better place than that. Shriel suggested that they find a place where the river flows. Wood pointed in the direction where she smelled water. Rin scoffed and expressed that it was pretty good. She's trying to exude dominance over her. Kella asked why they were looking for a river. Shrills told them that they can't just keep walking like that. They need to find something that they can ride. Shrills told her to stop dreaming about catching dragons. She uttered that they would be lucky to find even a unicorn. Kella agreed to go in a direction Wood pointed at. They arrived at the place, and there really were 2 unicorns drinking on a river. These creatures sensed something, and they immediately ran away. There was a giant monster foot. It left a footprint on the ground. It looked like a freaking dragon. Meanwhile, Rin insists that she wants a dragon. Shrills kept telling her that there are no dragons. At the same night, Curdly arrived at the Earth Demon Settlement. There was one demon begging to be saved. The waifu. Material Priestess realized that it was the only one that survived. She was motionless and tried remembering something amongst the corpse. They set camp. They were even grilling meat at the bonfire. Deed wondered why the family tracking spell isn't working. Curdle had no idea, she uttered. That multiple individuals are being detected in many different locations. Kalkar replied that there's no way that many of Hell's children remain. He asked if there's really no way to tell which one is Kella. Curdly replied yes. Audria asked what they should do, since they can't waste their time hunting down all of them. Killian replied that there's no choice. They will be hunting down the other demons that are spread throughout the continent. He asked Curdly to start looking for Kella first. Curdly replied that she can teleport a certain distance, if it's just herself and she thinks that it's faster. Deed replied that it's great, and in the meantime, they would be slaughtering. He corrected himself and called it cleaning up. Instead, Curdly replied that she will teleport herself. Curdly the sleepy finally started, and it was the first time she opened her eyes. Her pupils were blue and empty at the center. Deed was amazed that she left just like that. Killian then invited the rest and uttered, "Then shall we go hunt down those demons?" Back to the present time. Curdly felt the faint energy of Hell's child there. It made her wonder if Kella passed by there. The demon stuck under a wooden pallet replied yes. He shared that Kella wiped out their entire tribe. Curdly asked where Kella went. The demon doesn't know, then he asked if she could save him, but before he could beg more. Curdly headshot him, and just like that, the demon died. She told the demon that he's no use if he doesn't know. Curdly had no choice but to follow the faint trace of energy. She thought about Kella and just uttered his name. Meanwhile, Kella and the rest finally saw the river. He told Wood that she really LED'd them all the way to the river, purely based on scent when it was days away from them. Wood thanked him again. Rin scolded Wood and told her not to get full of herself, just because she did that. Wood plainly apologized. Kella expressed that he's hungry, since they didn't eat properly for a couple of days. Rin boasted that she's good at fishing, but before she could finish her sentence, fish came flying out of the water and into Wood's arms. Kella was amazed. He asked how she did that. So, she just sat under a tree away from them. Sriels praised Wood for it. Kella asked if Rin wasn't going to eat. She replied that she's all right. Rin looked sad. Shrills teased her that she will eat her portion instead. Rin replied that she can go ahead and take it. Kella glanced at her. She really felt useless. Then Kella uttered that eating fish isn't enough. He wondered if there's any fruits. Rin immediately stood up and told him that she will find some right away. Wood replied that she can find fruits quickly. Kella told him no, and because Rin will find them. Then he asked right Rin. Rin told him to leave it to her, and she will make sure to bring him delicious fruits. Then she told Kella that he's quite considerate. She asked him if he did that on purpose because Rin was feeling down. Kella replied that it was not, and he just wanted to eat some fruit. Then he asked if they could find unicorns around the area. She said that he smelled them when she was younger, and she smelled a similar scent around the area. Kella wished for a dragon too. Shrills told him again that there aren't any dragons there. Rin searched for fruits. She found it. She hopped to reach the fruit. She was focused on bringing delicious fruits to her master. She didn't want the newbie to outperform her. She happily reached the perfectly ripe fruit, but then the ground shook. She thought it was an earthquake. Then this dumb finally saw it, the eyes staring back at her while the creature growled. She was dumbfounded. Then she turned pale and screamed out loud as she realized that it's a dragon. Back at the camp, Shrills asked Wood if what she's saying is that she can naturally feel the energy of the earth. Wood replied yes, even though she doesn't know how to describe it. But she can feel the energy of nature up to a certain distance. Kella wondered if it's similar to looking at a map in a game. Shrills replied that it's a good ability to have to look for dungeons. Wood clarified that the distance isn't far, so she doesn't know how much help she can be. Kella asked if it's possible to increase the distance through training. She replied that she did hear that. There is one way to increase the distance. Kella asked what it could be. She replied that it's through consuming the clairvoyant stone of a dragon that has lived for over a millennium. She will be able to extend the distance. She can feel the energy of nature by several hundred times. Kella was surprised. He finds it amazing. Shrills replied that finding a dragon is no easy task, and even if they were to find one, there's no way they could kill it. Kella asked if dragons are really that strong. Shrills replied that dragons are basically apex predators in nature. Plus, dragons dislike demons. The only ones who can tame dragons are very few humans, who have very strong mental health. Kella replied that it's quite ironic that the only ones who can tame dragons are the weak humans. Shrills replied that she wouldn't try to understand the nature of dragons. Kella wished there was a way for them to get a clairvoyant stone. Shrieks uttered that there's now a way they can find a dragon, so there's now use worrying about it. She told them to just give up. Kella agrees that she's right, but he still wishes they could find one for Wood. Lo and behold, Rin was being chased by a freaking dragon. She asked her master to save her. The three were surprised to see the dragon. Shrills told them to quit admiring it and run away. Kella reminded her that she said they aren't going to encounter one, and Kella asked why it's so big. Shrill replied that she doesn't know. She had never seen a dragon that big before. Rin shouted. They told Rin to stop shouting, since she kept on attracting the dragon's attention, and it kept chasing them, unfortunately. Curdly was in the forest too. She heard the sound. Eventually, it became quiet. The dragon looked around while these fuckers hid behind a boulder. The dragon kept looking. Shrill saw that it eventually went away. Shrill scolded Rin for bringing a dragon when she's supposed to get fruits. She cried and apologized. She didn't expect that there would be a dragon. Would utter that it was big. With its size, it just might have lived for over a millennium. Kella got excited then. Curdly spoke that a dragon that has lived for over a millennium meant it has a clairvoyant stone. Kella turned to her direction and replied that it might actually be an opportunity. Then there was a moment of silence. They all stared blankly at Curdly. Kella was about to ask who the fuck she was. Shrills broke the awkward silence and was on high alert, since she recognized that it was talking of White's Curdly. Rin was surprised Kella asked if they had found them already. Shrills told everyone to prepare to attack. She stated that Curdly is infamous for being a merciless, cold-blooded mage. Kella thought he was going to live a peaceful life after escaping the Demon King Castle. He questioned why he's encountering danger after danger, and this time it's a cold-blooded mage. Curdly told them to calm down, and that there is no need for them to fight. Kella was confused. She told Shrills that Shrills should be aware that fighting there is meaningless. Shrills grits her teeth. Kella asked Sriels if that's true. Sriels didn't want to admit it, but she knew that Curdly wasn't bluffing. Curdly replied that there's no need for them to fight. If they follow her without causing trouble, then they won't have to die for now. Kella inquired where she wanted them to follow her. She replied that it's where their captain is. She's pertaining to Killian. Shrills asked if Killian had already started to move. Curdly told them that their captain is looking for Kella, so they should follow her. Kella concluded that he'll die if he goes. Shrills replied that either way he won't be able to survive any longer. Kella was dreaming of living as if he was in a game. He didn't want to die, such a pathetic death. But if he follows Curdly, he'll die. Then he would just rather fight to death instead of accepting it. Our boy then released an arrow. Curdly easily blocked it with a barrier. Shrills commanded everyone to attack. She caused an explosion, would attack too. She used vines and wrapped it around the barrier, but Curdly blocked it all. Rin felt like she's always been a dead weight to Kella, so she didn't want to die without doing anything. Like an idiot. She clawed the barrier as she claimed that she would protect Sir Kella. Shrills told her that she shouldn't use a close-range attack. Curdly accepted their choice. Rin groaned. She was blasted away when Curdle created an icicle from the ground. She crashed on the ground. Curdle uttered that it's fine, even if she brings only the dead body back. She used her skill called Blizzard. Shrills called everyone and told them to stick by her. She created a barrier to protect them from the falling. Sharp ice blades. Kella asked Rin if she's alright. Fortunately, she made it inside the barrier. Rin apologized to Kella for being no help. Sriels told her that it isn't the time for things like that. Her shield won't last long. Kella asked if Sriels had anything that could beat that spell. Sriels replied that even if she did, there's too much of a difference between her circles and Curdly's. Curdly kept the attack going. The shield is starting to crack. And if that happens, they will die by that bastard's hands. Kella tried to think of a way. Then he realized that if he could just meet the creature in his consciousness again. He tried to do as Shrills asked him what he's doing. She told him that if he uses his strength there, the shield will break faster. Kella willed the creature to come out. The birds were flying frantically. The dragon sensed something. It growled. Curdly uttered that she's feeling Hell's energy from Kella, and that it seems to only comes out when he exerts himself like that. Now she understands why she couldn't locate him before. However, it's the end for him. Kella was frustrated that he couldn't go inside his consciousness. He assumed that it's something that takes over when he's about to die. The shield is breaking. Curdly released more sharp ice. The barrier broke surprisingly. The dragon shielded them from the rain of ice. Kella was confused, especially when the dragon blocked the attack. Curdly asked why the dragon would do such a thing. She released more ice. The dragon placed its face near Kella. Then Kella felt something. He saw the dragon's memories, and he saw Kella's mother riding the dragon. They were being playful. He concluded that the dragon knew Kella's mother. It was bittersweet, tender memories. The dragon told him to run away. Kella was surprised to hear the dragon's voice. Then the dragon coughed up a marble. He asked what it was. The dragon replied that it's his clairvoyant stone. Kella asked him why he's giving it to him. The dragon replied that he had no time to explain. He told Kella to hide his power and run away. From there, Kella was confused. The dragon looked behind him. He urged Kella to hurry the dragon, then released a fire beam. Curdly created a barrier to defend herself. She finds it strange that a dragon is helping a demon. Kella had no time to think about it. He told everyone to run away. Curdly uttered that it was such a powerful dragon, and it just had to interfere. She stated that it gives her so much to consider. The dragon growled, and it released another fire beam. It was a powerful attack, but Curdly was able to block it. She asked the dragon if it was his best attack. Then she exerts herself a little bit. She opened her eyes once again. She created a gigantic magic circle. Curdly used another overpowered skill called Meteor, and a huge-ass meteor really started coming out from the magic circle. It was about to drop on the dragon. The dragon kept releasing fire beams. Its eyes were determined it recalled a memory. A sweet memory of Kella's mother, and it was rattled. The meteor dropped. Kella looked back. He was shocked the meteor squashed the dragon. It laid on its pool of blood. Curdly finds it really strange for a dragon to help a demon. She decided to look into its memories. Before it died, the dragon growled. Its body burns and disintegrates. He called them cruel and selfish humans. Then he told them that there would be a time that they will regret. All they have done, its body perishes. Only the ash was left. Curdly saw that it ended its own life, and that bought Kella time to hide his presence and run away. She finds it troublesome, but she claimed that it wouldn't change Kella's fate. She released butterflies, she claimed, that Kella would be killed by the hands of the white tokens. They were so confused with the dragon, since at first it tried to kill them, but then it helped them. Wood corrected them and said that it was trying to help Kella. Shrills agreed, since it suddenly appeared when Kella used his demonic powers. She asked if he knew anything about it. Kella replied that he was able to look into the dragon's memories. For a bit, then he shared that in the past. The dragon knew his mother. Rin replied that dragons don't usually get along with demons. She's curious about their backstory. Kella replied that he doesn't know, but he sensed a bittersweet feeling. They remembered that the dragon gave something to Kella. Shriels uttered that they were just saved by the queen. Kella was curious about the relationship between Kella's mother and the dragon. He thought that there was definitely something in the dragon's eyes. Kella gave with the stone. They were lucky enough to get it. Shrills agreed, since the token of the white is already on them. They need to do everything they can to prepare themselves. Wood was hesitant because it's a very rare item. She doubted if it's really okay for her to take it. Kella replied yes, and also nobody else has a use for it. He encouraged Wood to hurry up and eat it. She agreed, then she ate it and swallowed it. Immediately she sensed something in her body. Her eyes glowed. It was turning red. She saw a memory of the dragon. When the dragon was born, it was a lab rat for the humans' experiments. They performed such cruel experiments, without caring about how much pain he was in. It happened every single day. As generations of humans passed by, they continued to rip the dragon's body into pieces for experiments. And whenever he was nearing his death, they would heal him before continuing just like that. Centuries passed at that point. His mind had already been broken into pieces, and he had given up on everything. The humans were amused that the dragon wasn't crying even more. It stopped crying in their generation, and they thought it was their achievement. And just as the dragon is waiting for its death, Turkaldun, who is said to be one of the worst demon kings, started invading the humans. During the battle, the lab collapsed, and the dragon was finally freed. That was how he escaped from that hellish place. As he was able to feel freedom of soaring through the sky, he started looking for his fellow dragons. And he told them the cruelty of humans, and suggested that they help the demons in attacking humans. But unexpectedly, no one believed what he said. The dragons had already formed a close relationship with the humans, and they were already helping them fight against demons. And not many dragons realized that. The reason humans were able to become close to the dragons was because of the sacrifices for their experiments like this dragon. The humans had used the dragons to run experiments, to learn how to become closer to their kind and to grasp their magic. However, this truth was not accepted by his kind. They refused to believe the dragon because they had already developed a hostile relationship with the demons. They thought that the dragon would try to harm the humans. Because of that, this dragon ended up not being able to fit in with anyone. Not humans, not demons. Not dragons, if that's how it is. The dragon questioned his existence in the world. He thought that if he won't be able to fit in anywhere, and he won't be able to do anything, he questioned the purpose of his existence. And so he isolated himself in an endless darkness and deep solitude. There he wasted his life away waiting for his end, until an unexpected visitor arrived. A demon child was crying. That was when he met Carista. Carista called the dragon her mommy. The dragon was dumbfounded. Carista ran up to the dragon and hugged the dragon. While crying out loud, Carista called the dragon her mommy. The dragon told her that she's not her mother. And that's when the dragon realized it. That perhaps she just found the reason she was born. Pay respects to our almighty dragon. May you now rest in peace. Old mommy dragon. The child that suddenly appeared before the dragon was Cariste. Her memories that the dragon saw through her memory transmission magic were bleak. The dragon's past was filled with the experiments of the humans done on him, but it was demons who had experimented on Cariste. Even among demons, there is a hostile group who acts independently of other demons. They are called Teriska through their experiments. They were able to analyze dragon magic and were researching magic to subjugate dragons. As soon as Cariste hatched from her egg, she was immediately taken away by Teriska and experimented on Cariste, who had the highest magic potential out of all the experiment subjects, could use the most difficult dragon magic. Transformation magic since she was born. That was the main reason Teriska was experimented on. So Cariste, who was subjected to pain every moment of her life, within that constant despair, developed teleportation magic on her own. She managed to escape the facility, traveled far and alone until she met the dragon. The dragon thinks that Cariste was pulled to her because of their shared fates, or it could be a coincidence. Regardless, because they had both lived such painful lives, it was impossible to act like strangers. Carista, uttered master the dragon, told her that she is not her parents, so she should address her as master. Carista liked that she said that the master is like a mother. The dragon told her that it's just master. After that, the dragon taught Carista many things, like how the world worked, how a dragon should live, and all the dragon magic he learned, the time that the dragon spent with Carista. Unlike the past, which seemed to crawl by, moved so quickly, there was a time when the dragon thanked Cariste. Carista asked for what? The dragon simply replied that she just wanted to say thank you. Carista looked like a woman. Now she insists that the dragon tells her to. The dragon, watching Carista grow bit by bit, and all the time they spent together, brought her happiness that she can't express with words. All the pain she experienced due to being born a dragon felt like nothing in the face of the beautiful life they lived together. However, change came. When they least expected, one day the dragon sensed something. Carista asked her what's wrong. The dragon asked Carista who she was. The dragon was alarmed. She asked Carista if she's a human or a demon. Carista was confused. She asked her master if she's testing her. The dragon told her that whether she's a human or a demon, she will kill him either way. Then she released a fire beam towards Carista. Carista was terrified. The dragon wished to spend her life living happily with Carista, but her body, which had its lifespan cut short by all kinds of experiments done to her, could not last as long as other dragons. Carista asked him why she's doing that. She asked him if she can't really remember her. Then the dragon eventually called Carista's name. Carista asked her if she remembers her now. The dragon apologized to Carista and expressed that she didn't mean to attack her. That's when the dragon realized that, before the day came where she couldn't recognize Carista at all, that she needed to leave her side. The dragon treasured her disciple, so she went as far as possible. Then she began to prepare for her life's end. She dwelt in nostalgic memories of Caristi, through cycles of remembering and forgetting. She knew then as to why most of her precious memories had disappeared. It was because her life would be over soon. Until one day, from far away, the dragon felt a bittersweet energy, and she instinctively began to wander to find that energy. And on the last day of her life, finally that day, she was able to meet that energy. The dragon was drawn to where it was. Especially when Kella screamed. She felt it strongly. She knew it was Carista's energy. She teared up when she thought about her precious disciple. Then she saw Kella with two women. In that place, it was not Cariste, but a different child instinctively. She protected the child from an attack. But the dragon could tell that the child was Carista's. And in a brief moment through that child's memories, the dragon saw her lovely daughter Carista, who had become a mother and held her own child dearly. So, the dragon decided that Carista's precious child should be protected. That's when the dragon released a fire beam. During the fight, she was thankful to Cariste for not letting her last days die away without any meaning. And at the end of her long life, she felt happy to see Carista's child once in her final moments. All she could think of was how much she loved her daughter Caristi. Rest in peace, Mama Dragon. From all that flashback, Wood couldn't help but cry. She dropped on her knees. Rin asked her if she's okay. On the battlefield, only the ashes of the Mama Dragon lingered. At the very least, she was able to protect what's important to her and found another purpose in life. A few moments later, Shrills was agitated when she heard that. Wood can't remember anything now. Would explain that the ability didn't manifest all at once, or it could be that it slowly happens over time. Wood uttered that in the worst-case scenario, her ability might be lacking and just not manifest at all. Rin told her that she had a long way to go. Kella replied that they have no choice but to wait for Wood's skill. Shriel asked what they should do. She's worried, since they don't know when White Talking will find them again. Kella told them that they have to go somewhere that can help them protect themselves. He told Shriels to show them the world. The blue area in the map is the region of Talua Kingdom and the humans. The red one is where the demon kingdom was, and where the demons were living. They are at the boundary of the two. Kella uttered that going south will be good. Rin was surprised that he chose that. Instead of going deeper into the demon's territory, Rin uttered that his father must have had some kind of intention behind sending him to the human's territory of Arsal. He's certain that part of that is having to meet Shriels. But once the demon kingdom fell, Kella knew that his father predicted that humans would engage in a full-scale invasion of the demon's territory. Shriels agreed because as soon as their father fell, it's not only the White Talking, but all of humanity's armies took the opportunity to exterminate the demon folk. Rin interpreted that as a means to rally the demons behind Kella. Kella told her it's impossible at the moment, given what happened in the Earth Demon's territory. Kella has been stamped as the cowardly son who ran away. He knew that the other demon folk were thinking the same thing. So in short, Kella doesn't have the power to rally anyone yet. Rin thought Shriels could, but Shriels replied that there isn't anyone who can prove that. She's the descendant of the king. There was nothing she could do about it. But when she was in Talcon with the things that she did, it was impossible to obtain forgiveness from them. Kella told them that the first thing they need to do is to create a dungeon that they can use as a home base. And he needs to achieve things so that the demons will follow him willingly. He needed to prove his strength. Shrills and Rin were happy with that idea. From then on, Kella would accumulate achievements, and the demons would naturally gather around him. Kella would have to prove himself and become the next demon king. They knew that there was no better way than that. Kella agreed and told them that they need to take that time to establish their position and create a strategy. That's why he suggested creating a home-based dungeon in the south. Shriels and Rin were happily on board with this plan. Deep inside, Kella was relieved that with such a makeshift plan, the two are following well. He finally gathered the comrades that he needed, but he's being chased by those absurdly powerful monsters. He knew that it's too dangerous to face the White Talking for now. Kella needed more information. He thought about the things he experienced there. He noticed that there are many things in common with the game. From the words that describe magic to the names of monsters. It was all too familiar to him. He considered the possibility that there's a link between that world and his previous life. He decided to use his power and status of being the Demon King's son to get what he wanted, and use his previous life's knowledge to create a survival strategy. He assumed that there's a path to victory. It made him more determined not to die in vain before that. A true gamer mindset, folks. Meanwhile, a village was struck with chaos. The houses were in flames. The citizens were screaming. The demons promised to side with the humans if they will be spared, but they were just eaten by a mystical thing. Deed created that monster and teased the demon that he can't hear what they're saying. The demon called them cruel bastards. The demons had surrendered, but they kept attacking. Someone raised an axe and uttered that demons should be quiet and dead. Audrey hit the demon with her axe. She pulled out the axe and blood splattered. Kalka reported to the captain that they are all done. He noticed something. Killian found out that Kella has been in the boundary territory, not far from Demon Earth territory. Curdley replied that she's using butterflies to look for him. Killian knew that Kella won't come to the demon territory. That has become a sea of flames. Killian told his men to wrap up and go where Curdle is. Audria asked what would happen to the rest of the demons. She suggested that they should take the chance to get rid of them all. Killian told her to calm down, since it won't be too late to do that once they kill Kella. Killian expressed that he needs to, even if it's an hour earlier, to obliterate the bloodline that killed his brother. Meanwhile, Kella is in an uncomfortable situation. They were riding unicorns that went as fast as they could. Kella felt that it got cold. Shrills explained that they ran south for a week without resting, so it makes sense for it to be cold. They weren't followed by talking. On their way there, Kella thought that it would be nice to just avoid encountering them, at least until he's done with his preparations. The unicorns suddenly stopped. Rin asked why. Wood uttered that the unicorns are strongly refusing to go any further. Wood stated that the unicorns have determined that they can't survive in the environment. Up ahead, Kella replied that it was fine, since they already arrived at their destination. They sent the unicorns back. Wood thanked them and hoped for them to get back safely. The unicorns left. Rin was shivering. She said that with that kind of weather, both humans and demons would have a hard time. Kella replied that is why it's perfect. The unicorns kept walking under the moonlight. A butterfly flew above them. It's like watching them. That was a butterfly of Curdley. She was puzzled that the unicorns who fear the cold are moving north from south. And there's 4 unicorns at that. I think this bitch already knew what was going on. Meanwhile, back to our MC's crew. Would inform them that the cave on the island is the safest position. Kella asked if she could find out who's on that island, or if there's any monster. Wood apologized and told him that her mind's eye only responds to nature, so it can't detect life. Shrills saw the nearby boats were weathered. Kella asked if the boats were usable. He replied that it looked fine. It's about 200 meters from the coast to the island. It's not that far, but it's sufficiently deep and the waves are strong. It's also easy for them to detect if anyone invades the island. They saw that the entrance was wider than they thought. Kella asked if Shrills can cast illusion magic on the entrance. That was easy for Shrills. A holographic bar appeared at the entrance. He suggested to look around first. Eventually, they reached a place where the paths were split into 2. Kella asked Wood to tell him the specifics. She reported that there are 2 paths on each side that are narrow for a while, and then open into a room. Then, after narrowing, they merge into a bigger room at the end. She stated that after that, there's a room that's even deeper that has 1 entrance, and it's connected to a small exit. Kella told them that they will split into 2 and check out both paths, and then meet in the middle. Shrills placed an arm around Kella and uttered that she and Kella would go together. Rin was caught off guard. Rin grabs Kella's arm and argues that she's going with him. Shrills asked her what was up with her. Rin replied that they don't know what will happen in the tunnel, so she suggested that the strongest 2 should split up. Shrills can't argue with that. She decided to go with Wood. Rin had this relieved look on her face as she got to go with her master. Kella told them to make sure to check out anything that's off and meet in the middle. They acknowledged Kella's order. Would notice that the stones on the ceiling are providing light. Shrills explained that those are light stones. Ice and light magic have been combined to create them, since they're still lit. Shrills assumed that it must have been made by quite the skilled mage. Wood replied, I see. Then Shrills dropped a revelation and told her that she still doesn't trust her. Wood asked her what she meant. Shrills made it clear to her that she's traveling with her because Kella picked her. But she stated that she's not the type to make new comrades easily. Wood was quiet. Shrills gauges her expression. Wood replied not to worry about calling her comrade, and she should just think of her as a slave. Shrills was quiet. Then she ended the conversation by simply saying, "Yeah, I don't like you." Wood didn't respond at the same time. Kella expressed that it would be nice if they could also make light stones. Rin agreed and volunteered to research light stones for them. There was a slightly huge rock, and Rin stopped Kellen on his tracks and told him to be careful not to trip. Rin looked so proud of herself. Kella wondered why she's so motivated. Then a blob came rolling. Kella was excited to see his slime. He only saw them in video games, so he wanted to touch one at least once in his life. But Rin punched it. Kella turned pale. She looked expectant. Kella wondered if she's looking for a compliment. Rin was very determined to protect Kella. Kella told her to calm down. They heard a noise. Rin was surprised. A large golem stood before them. Kella told Rin to get behind him, but Rin refused to. She was determined to take care of anything that gets in Kella's way. Thank you all for watching. Please watch this next GigaChad video, and I'll see you guys next time. Also support the channel by joining the Summon Club membership. You can also support by just liking the video and being awesome.